So as you know, there is an absolute ton going on here at Goodwood SpeedWeek, but it's not just restricted to the track. Right now, I'm outside the Bonhams auction house, which is going to be hosting a very exclusive auction. And we got some cheeky early access. So of course, we sent two of our chief troublemakers to go and have a look.
Welcome to the Goodwood SpeedWeek Bonhams Important Collectors Motor Cars and Automobilia auction. The only thing longer than the title is likely to be the auction itself, because there are a lot of interesting things going through here, including over there, a speedboat. Gives the place a feeling of an upmarket edition of Bullseye. But of course there are cars, lots of really, really nice cars. Starting with this.
I've got the post-its out. I've been having a good look round. This really takes my eye. 1953 Bentley R-Type Continental. The thing that makes this car important is the back end, that fast bum there. This is an HJ Mulliner bodied car, and these were special because they were aluminium bodied, not steel.
Oh, okay.
And this particular car has extensively been used for historic rally, although you wouldn't know it. It's
no,
beautiful.
they've buffed out the stone chips quite nicely, haven't they? What I like about this actually is that it's rocking a really good pair of Steelies.
It is some very classy steel wheels. I do like the classy
it's nice,
steel.
Isn't it? That's lovely. Have you got a reserve on this or a guide?
800,000 to $1 million.
Oh my
so
goodness.
This is an expensive car.
Crikey.
You don't see the fastbacks very often.
No.
The R-Type, so it's a nice thing.
Yeah, good. Okay. I wanted to look at this because this is a Railton. Don't hear much about Railton because they don't exist anymore. But
no.
The thing that caught my eye about this is it's got a straight 8 engine.
Yeah, 936 Railton. What Railton did, and I didn't know this until quite recently, they're a British company, and what they effectively did is brought in Hudson cars, so American cars, and rebodied them and tweaked them around. So you always got American chassis and drivetrain. So a lot of power, a lot of torque. The
red line is at 4,200 revs.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this is quite a relaxed engine.
Oh, this is incredibly low. The thing about a straight 8, it's a gorgeous engine. They don't really make straight 8s anymore, but
no.
The crankshaft is this long. It doesn't rev high, it's just a torque monster.
Because the only thing that's going to have a crank that long apart from a straight 8 is, I guess, a V60, not a W16, because they're
which you don't
squidgy.
see anymore.
Yeah,
ever.
Unless you've got a BRM.
Unless you've got a BRM. But yeah, this is a right-hand drive ex-South African car, and it's a 30 to 50,000 quid.
Well, so, you know, for a straight 8, I'll have that. Also this, now you kind of, this gives you a mark of what this auction's all about, in that you wander past this, you go, okay, well it's a Fraser Nash, right, quite sweet little racing car.
Yeah, Le Mans replica.
It's a Le Mans replica, and actually that's a sort of misnomer because they were called that from the factory. It's not a replica of a Fraser Nash, it's a real deal, but it was driven by Sir Sterling Moss. Yeah,
ex-Sterling Moss, ex-Tony Brooks, ex-Roy Salvadori, ex-Ken Wharton.
It's been busy.
It's been busy. Apparently the number plate's fairly well known. Yeah, it's been campaigned an awful lot in its time, and I think having that race pedigree is what makes these things collectible off of the time. 300 to 400,000 pounds is the estimate on this car. Rebuilt in the 2000s. It looks so good. It's stubby. It's
sweet, isn't it?
It's ready for action.
Now, my friend Lou has got a birthday coming up, and I've been struggling with what to buy her. Problem solved. That number plate, beautiful, happens to be attached to an Aston DB2/4 from 1953. What's nice about this, apart from that it's nice, is this was one of the very first cars, some say the first, with a hatchback.
With a hatchback. So it's actually a very practical sports car.
Very practical car, and in popularising the hatchback, of course, it has a place in history. Without this car, there'd be no Austin Metro, so quite significant, I suppose.
It's PB as well, pre-Bond.
Pre-Bond, yeah. So it's sort of nice colour too.
Yeah.
We got Bentleys over here, which are all delightful. But I wanted to look at this Lagonda, which has a Bentley connection, because this is 1939 Lagonda V12 drophead.
V12.
Designed by W.O. Bentley.
Yeah. So old W.O. Bentley, who founded the Bentley company, when Rolls-Royce sort of bought Bentley and apparently fleeced the company, W.O. not very happy, ran away. Very clever engineer guy, ended up developing the V12 engine for this. The biggest claim that this car could do is it could be put into top gear at walking pace and could accelerate to terminal velocity without stalling with
well, that's a labour-saving function
Which
right
I think
there.
is really important, but other than that, it's actually a really
It's a pretty car, but what I like about it is the fact that Bentley left his own company in a fit of pique, went to a rival, Lagonda, designed this. It proves that in car design and motorsport, there is no greater driving force than spite.
Oh, no.
It won Ford Le Mans in '66, let's be honest.
Yeah,
Spite is a very powerful thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Another Lagonda there, also very lovely. And then there's a racing one here, also a V12,
I'm
which is
really
nice.
down with this car. You see, of course, back in the 30s, when Lagonda made the V12, this was just before the war. When all of these cars were delivered, like that car was delivered in World War II. Can you imagine taking delivery of that in World War II? And then they only made about 189 V12 Lagondas. This one was modified in the 50s, shorter wheelbase, different bodywork, to race.
We've got your Lagonda, sir. Do you know, I've got some other things to worry about at the moment, but yes, leave it on the drive, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
That did put pay to Lagonda's V12 dreams, didn't it? Because the war broke out,
Yeah.
so it spoiled things. I was going to mention that Rolls-Royce over there, only in as much as that is a pre-war Rolls-Royce. They're beautifully engineered, I think that's well known, possibly the best engineered cars of their time.
Yeah.
But in the context of this auction, that is the bargain basement. That has got, the low end of the guide price on it is £50,000.
50 grand.
Where most things seem to be sort of six figures in this area. So that, I'd hesitate to say cheap at the price, but it is certainly one for the
It's
eagle-eyed
incredible
bargain collector.
engineering. I suspect cheaper because of the lack of racing pedigree, but anyway, come through here. Come here, cameraman.
There's another.
Follow me.
There's another Rolls-Royce through here. This one was.
You love this.
I like this because I'm from Cheshire and I like gaudy gold things occasionally. And this is, it was, they believe, ordered for King Alfonso of Spain, and then was owned by a Maharaja. So it's got some provenance, not racing provenance. So it's really interesting what you say about the lack of racing pedigree sort of makes Rolls's a little bit less sought after, or Royces,
And of
as
course,
people
back
say.
then everything was coach built, so that would have been made to spec
Oh yeah.
of the original owner.
Yeah, you couldn't just get the doors from a scrapyard and put new ones on from a similar model. They wouldn't fit. It's all hand tailored.
I love that.
You love this though, don't
Listen,
you?
we've got to go over to this, guys, because honestly, what's bizarre about this, and I'm going to, it's actually made in 2016. It's called a Miller Racing Special Recreation of an early, like 20s, 30s era Indianapolis car, made by a company that makes custom bikes in Salisbury in the UK, called Lamb Engineering, and it is so detailed and beautiful. I don't actually care if it even runs, because I'd have it in my lounge next to a comfortable chair and an espresso machine. I just think it's gorgeous.
We've sort of got to wrap this up, but if you come over here, I just wanted to show you one thing. There's
I'm coming, Richard.
someone else cleverer than me and better at maths added up the approximate value of all the cars in this room, and they reckon it's over £20 million worth of cars. But the heavy lifting on that number is done by one single car, and it's this Ferrari 330, which they reckon could go for £1.5 million, which is a lot of money, but then it is
It's the best looking Ferrari today.
jaw-droppingly beautiful car. So fair play. If you've got £1.5 million, then get this, because it's lovely. On that note, the auction is happening tomorrow, Saturday. They're going to let us back in here to have a look at some slightly newer cars then. But if you want to register for the auction that's happening on Saturday, please remember you must be this rich to take part.